a lot of people in the acquisition process, they're very eager and sensitive to review the integrity of the financial data, specifically what's going to the bank account, what shows up in the financials, the profit and loss statement and the income or in the balance sheet are the integrity of those is critical to the transaction, being able to be consummated. And I don't know how many people understand that there's a lot of hands or there's a lot of touch points, in the e-com ecosystem before that money gets to the bank account. There's the issuing credit card on the consumer side. There's the acquiring credit card on the merchant side. There's a payment gateway. There's a shopping cart. Graphical user interface. Somewhere in there that's putting, moving things to payment gateways, and then there's the depository, batches made to the bank account. Maybe you can share your thoughts about that, the complexity of that, and dissecting that a little bit, or I'm just kind of curious if you've got any words of wisdom as you've managed or dealt with that side of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this from trying to keep it high level.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't, like, if I was buying a company, I wouldn't worry about all those components that you mentioned so much as from a data perspective. What I would be concerned about is knowing that the data that I'm looking at is accurate, and the components that feed up to that data, or that single data source, I would just want to know that there's a level of confidence in that the accuracy of that data. So I don't know that I would get too worried about the nuances of how it works A to Z, because you'll pull your hair out.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you there. We don't want to go down a rabbit hole that's not going to be helpful. Why don't we switch topics for a second? Talk about integrations. I know that your system and the sticky system is a significant amount of integrations. On the payment side, on the fulfillment side. What about? Obviously, it's a huge benefit for your merchants. But tell us a little bit about what's the effort that goes into that? What's the the integrity of making sure those integrations are tight, making sure they're accurate. What you can share a little bit about that, and this I think maybe can give other people some ideas as to what they should be on the lookout for. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications about new videos and interviews, and introduce yourself in the comments. Are you a buyer or a seller?